Hey everybody, Brandon Mason here with Eastmans. We're bringing you yet another rifle review here in 2024. And today we're taking a look at the Bergara MgMicro Lite ultralight rifle. And we're going to get into all the facts and figures and specs. We're going to do some shooting and let you know what we think about it. But before we do that, of course, I got to give you the shameless plug. You know, if you haven't subscribed to YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the notifications bell, because we are coming out with content like this multiple times a week, each and every week, 52 weeks a year. Everything from video gear reviews like this to webisodes of some of our series and much, much more. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. So this Bergara MgMicro Lite, as the name implies, is really pushing the boundaries when it comes to shaving ounces and actually pounds off of a rifle setup. And you know, as a backcountry hunter, and a lot of you are that way too, and even if you're not a backcountry hunter, just lugging around a really heavy rifle isn't always the most desirable plan of attack. You know, I've spent years now, but you know, months and weeks, a year, lightening up my pack setup, whether it's the pack itself or the items I'm carrying in the pack. I have ultralight footwear on, I have ultralight clothing on, everything's light, light, light. And then what do? We grab our rifle that sometimes exceeds 10 pounds when you have a scope and a suppressor and a sling and maybe some other odds and ends on it. And it's really counterintuitive to the backcountry ultralight hunter. Now, a lot of manufacturers are really pushing the envelope when it comes to a rifle that looks similar to this, and Bergara's doing the same thing. So they partnered up with XLR to deliver this magnesium chassis, and it's a folding chassis, as you can see. And so it's really easy to pack around, not just from a lightweight standpoint, but just a compact footprint of the rifle itself. This is a 6.5 Creedmoor. They have them also in some long action cartridges. With this 6.5 Creedmoor, it only has an 18-inch barrel, and I love what the Bergara rifle, or what the Bergara website says, is that with this type of setup, it almost beckons for a suppressor to be put on it. And so what did we do? We put on a suppressor. But before I did that, I did a lot of testing at the range. This particular rifle, I've put over 2 boxes of ammunition through. What I found, which is kind of unique to the overall general rifle setup, but yet less unique to those rifles with carbon fiber barrels, is that I didn't see a difference on point of impact at several yardages between shooting suppressed and shooting non-suppressed, and which was really encouraging, because sometimes travel restrictions, or like going to Canada, for example, you can't have a suppressor. And there's been times in the past where I had to completely sight my rifle in again without the suppressor. Well, with this one so far, I've found that I haven't seen that. All right, here we are. If you look, the other two shots are in that same group, which I didn't expect. I expected them down here. And so seeing the consistency, suppressed versus non-suppressed, is similar to other carbon fiber barrel results that I've seen from other manufacturers as well. And so there could be something to that, but usually I see quite a discrepancy in your elevation change. I had one flyer there, again, that was on me. But the rifle's shooting good. We're gonna put some more rounds downrange. And that's been a pleasant surprise. Part of that is in part to the Bergara, what they call the Cure barrel, the capital CURE barrel, and they have a proprietary carbon fiber weave process that really creates a repeatable, stiff barrel, and it's ultralight as well. And so compared to its steel barrel counterparts, the accuracy is better, the weight is better, and all around just the performance seems to be more consistent. So in addition to the barrel length, to the folding XLR stock, which also has an incorporated level on it, which is handy to make sure that you're not canting your rifle one way or another, especially if you don't have a scope equipped with digital features that show you if you're off, you know, right or left. Having that bubble level is really nice. But it's also equipped with a Timney trigger. I mean, everybody knows Timney triggers. They're super crisp, you know, not a lot of extra travel in fact, there's no extra travel in it once you pull that trigger. It's solid, they're easy to adjust. and this one has performed flawlessly, as all Timney triggers have that I've tested. It has a spiral fluted bolt, and the whole action is actually tapered to help feeding of the next cartridge into the chamber. And that's one of the things that stuck out to me, honestly, with this particular rifle. I mean, the lightweight sticks out, the skeletal look sticks out, the carbon fiber grip, and the whole butt you know, the cheek piece and everything there, the cheek rest, carbon fiber. Those are all cool features, and that stands out. But the thing mechanically that stood out to me is just how buttery smooth feeding that next round is into the chamber. I was really impressed with that, and it was repeatable. It wasn't just once or twice I got it right, but there's a lot of play, and the next time I didn't, there's no play. And I was really impressed with that. We've seen that a lot with a lot of rifle manufacturers this year in the new rifles that we've tested, which you can check out those reviews right here in the channel, as I mentioned, is that there's really been an improvement on feeding that next cartridge into the chamber. And so the smoothness of it has just been remarkable. So I mentioned that on the Bergara website, they say that this short 18-inch barrel that's ultralight just seems to beckon for a suppressor. The cool thing is it comes threaded, ready for a suppressor. So it comes obviously with the threaded barrel cap on it, and you can quickly put on your own suppressor of your choice. So in addition to the whole rifle weight, at least for this 6.5 Creedmoor, being only 5.8 pounds before the scope and the suppressor were added, the chassis itself, that XLR chassis, comes in at a scant, depending on which one you're choosing, it's under a pound either way. It's either 14 ounces or 15.5 ounces if you're going with those longer actions. But the whole setup is truly micro light. It's an ultra light setup for the backcountry hunter. And so the carbon fiber buttstock and the cheek piece, this is adjustable. And so you've already seen me fold this rifle in half, basically, but this is also adjustable so that you can get the height, the cheek height that you want to on your rifle, depending on what scope mounts you have and just your personal comfort. And then it's also equipped with a limb saver recoil pad. And I got to tell you, you know, with a suppressor, I don't notice the recoil hardly at all. And this is only a 6.5 Creedmoor, which usually is a very tame rifle, but just as a testament to how ultra light this gun is, if you're shooting it unsuppressed, it barks a little more than you would expect out of a 6.5 Creedmoor. And so that's not a criticism of the rifle. It's just showing you just truly how lightweight it is, because in my experience, I mean, we shot a lot of Creedmoors over the years as test rifles. We kind of use that as one of our base standards here, just to get consistency across the board as far as getting the feel of each individual rifle without changing the caliber. And you usually don't notice the recoil too much from a 6.5 Creedmoor, but I did on this, which shows you that the marketing, the name, everything behind this rifle, it's not just calling it micro light. It truly is micro light. It's one of the lightest weight rifles I personally have ever shot. So I mentioned the XLR stock. It's a magnesium stock, and you'll notice some of these cutouts in it. Well, the whole thing is M-LOK compatible, and so it is so easy to equip this rifle with the accessories, whether that be a shooting rest, like right now we're shooting off a heavy-duty Vortex Radiant carbon tripod, because it is Arca Swiss compatible, as you will see on this part of the fore end of the rifle, which means I don't need anything on there if I'm going to use this type of a setup, or another tripod that has an Arca Swiss head. But if you're using a certain bipod setup, it makes it easier to put on. Some guys in the more tactical world will incorporate, you know, side flashlights or night vision or whatever onto the side. Lots of different, are all over on the rifle, but lots of different options to add to this, even though it's a really compact ultralight rifle. And that's what it's made for. It's made for, I mean, you can use it for competition shooting, but ultimately it's for that backcountry hunter that is tired of lugging around a heavy rifle and wants to get up in the high country without one more thing dragging you down from a weight standpoint. And so what we're going to do today is, we've already spent some time at the range, as I mentioned. Today what we're going to do is we're going to plink some steel just for fun. And so we're going to extend the range a little bit. We have steel set up off on the range here that we're gonna, when I say the range, this isn't an actual range. This is kind of like home on the range. We're out in the wide open country of Wyoming, and we're just enjoying the day. So as of right now, this MgMicro Lite comes in 3 calibers: 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, or 6.5 PRC. And I got to be honest with you, if you haven't shot a 6.5 PRC yet, you owe it to yourself to do so. It has become one of my favorite calibers. It is an absolute screamer. It shoots everything that I've put through it just very effectively. So little shameless plug for the 6.5 PRC as well. Again, this one's in the 6.5 Creedmoor. And so with that, let's get to shooting. I've got my ammunition here. I'm gonna load up the clip. We're gonna air it out a little bit, see how it does here on this tripod. I had a dog, and his name was Bingo. Well, that's our review for the Bergara MgMicro Lite with the XLR Atom stock and a whole bunch of other fun acronyms like the Cure barrel and so on and so forth that we already went through. Thanks for joining us on this review. And again, shameless plug, don't forget the shameless plug that I had at the start of this. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notifications bell. We'll just keep on bringing this content to you.